Honey, please stop. Stop. It's not me, it's you. Hi, I'm Joe.
And I'm Angela.
And we are
the May December Society. Welcome back to another wonderful episode where we're going to talk about something that many of you are curious about. Marriage.
You think we should go there?
Wow. So many people are asking about it.
You're right.
Why aren't you married? And no, as you can see, we're not married.
No, she hasn't asked me.
So a lot of people are curious about why, and perhaps why they're not married if they're in a relationship for a long time. And so we decided to make a video about that.
Yeah, there must be several reasons why one doesn't commit to the other.
So just to let you guys know, we are on Instagram now. You can follow us at May December Society, and we have a P.O. box.
We do.
The address is below. Anything you send us, we might make a video about it. So include a name on there that you want us to give a shout out to, and we definitely will. Again, topic of marriage.
Here are a few things that might be holding you back.
Hey, son.
Hi, Mom.
What are you up to?
Yeah, not much. Yeah. I'm going out with my girlfriend. Yeah, we're going to the movies.
You're still going out with that young girl?
Mother. Really?
That's disgusting. Everybody said,
I gotta go, Mom. Bye.
don't get her pregnant.
God, so messy, this girl. Jeez. Oh, her stuff here. Put in a closet, she'll say. Oh!
Oh my God, honey, check these out. Aren't they so cute? They were $200, but it's worth it, right? I mean, look at them. Ooh. Oh, by the way, my phone bill came in. You know, if you could just get that taken care of in the next week or so. Oh, thank you.
I tell you, that messy skit really struck home.
Everybody has some habits or some little idiosyncrasies that may kind of grind on another partner. Right. Maybe that's something that's blocking them from popping that question. There's just one thing that maybe they've been continuously hinting at you that you need to change this thing, but you're just not getting it.
Yeah.
And you know, and that's understandable. You want to be yourself, but sometimes a partner can't live with that part of yourself.
That's right. And sometimes you do have to pick up after yourself. There are situations where a person will be extremely too dependent on the other. It can also read as lazy as well. Independence is a marvelous thing. Everyone should have that.
It's important to have hobbies and interests that are outside of the relationship.
Before you met, you had your own separate lives. Now when you get together, you're spending all your time together, but you still have those other interests, that other life. And that's critically important to the life of a relationship. You
intertwine your lives, but you don't want to, in that process, lose what the person fell in love with in the first place.
That's right. Very good point, because that is very much a part of the person they fell in love with.
Now, with an age gap relationship, there are certain things that are just going to affect it, such as family and their reactions to it.
Friends and family are critical to a lot of relationships, even normal relationships that are not age gap. They are an influence. So in an age gap relationship, it can be very divisive. You may lose contact with a family member because you're in an age gap relationship. That's very sad, but it happens. So you have to overcome those things.
So you may have either a parent or children are a big thing. If the child of this person is not completely happy with their relationship, then they might be hesitant to take that next step and marry you.
And those friends that you have, you're going to be getting outside pressure to do one thing or another. It's a sad part of it, but you do lose people. But then again, you do gain people from your partner's side.
On the same reign with the age gap. One partner, as we know, has a lot more experience than the other. And that experience may be to the detriment of their future. For example, they might have a terrible past experience with a marriage that failed or went terribly wrong, And that's why they don't want to do it again.
That is a real problem and a real issue, and we hear about it quite often. Something has been so traumatic in their relationship, their past relationship, they cannot even fathom giving it a try again. And that's really unfortunate. And if that's you out there, I want you to think more about it, because you have a great relationship going on now. So don't forget that.
When marriage is something that led to the collapse of a past relationship, then in their mind they think maybe that same exact thing is going to happen again.
That's right.
If they marry you.
Yes, they don't want to make the same mistake again. They're so happy, like us. Why do they want to mess that up, huh? Who would want to mess that up? I don't. Do you want to mess that? She wants to mess that up. Sometimes in a relationship, the older partner feels guilty that they're involved with the younger person. You know what? They think they are robbing you of a portion of your life that they've already been through and enjoyed. And they think that they are taking it away from you. Even though you have told them many times it's not an issue, you still feel sometimes that you are doing that.
The younger person in the relationship may have made some sacrifices to be with them. Maybe not having children or something like that. And that can grind on somebody. That can make them think, I don't want this person to be stuck with me and making all these sacrifices for me. Maybe one day I will become in need of care and I'm subjecting them to that. Why do I want to marry them and keep them and kind of trap them, so to speak, in that relationship? And they just want to maybe make it easier for you to just cut your losses and go if you need to.
And it's a very difficult thing to address with the person, because you love them. You love them very much. And when you say something like, you know, I'm holding you back, it can be hurtful to the other person, like you're trying to get rid of them. But it isn't always the case. There's a real feeling that they may have that they just don't want to harm you. They don't want to harm you. They care about you, they love you, and they want the best for you, even at the risk of losing you.
You may be in a relationship with someone who upfront said that they weren't really interested in marriage. They are not interested in that kind of thing, but you thought, well, you know, I love them so much, either maybe I can deal with it or maybe I can change them. And now there's something wrong with both of those options. If you're making a sacrifice to deal with it, you may come on with regrets later on. And the second part is changing him. Fat chance. You're not going to change anybody. If they are set in their ways, it's just something they're absolutely not going to do, they're not going to do it. Maybe you've had this discussion that marriage is something that might happen, maybe it wasn't a solid no yet, but maybe he's just not ready. And that's it. If you're waiting too long and you feel like you've had this discussion over and over with him to the point where you're becoming a nag, basically asking him to marry you, then, you know, maybe it's time that you move on. Well, I'm gonna try to get Joe back here. Joe! So a couple other things, little things that can affect somebody wanting to get married is finances.
Oh, finances, yeah. He could be afraid or concerned that it would be a given that he would just take care of all the expenses moving forward. And that could be a deterrent too. So finances. Of course, there is debt. There are debts. He may have, she may have. He may not want to assume those liabilities for her or her for him.
Another thing too is if maybe he does have a lot of money and he wants to protect his wealth and doesn't want to put it at risk by marrying somebody. I mean, prenups exist and everything.
Prenup.
But, you know, maybe he's afraid of inheritance or something like that. Now, one thing too is when maybe you become a little too comfortable, like a married couple already. You're doing his dishes, you're doing his laundry, you're cleaning the house, you're sharing the bills, you're doing everything that would be considered a wifely duty. And so at that point, it's like, well, what's the point of getting married?
That'd be wonderful. And if that's happening for you, I hope you do get married.
And really, it's like, is being married so important to you that you would lose the relationship?
That's a very good point. You know, and that's one that I have to say is woefully overlooked. You are great together. Why would you want to throw that wrench into the works?
Well, some people do want to get married, and that is a deal breaker. for a lot of people, me included.
Well,
So, with that in mind, Joe, I'm sure the audience is all very curious to hear what your reasons are that you haven't proposed to me yet.
well, I do propose that we table that issue for a while. And then when I am ready to talk to you about that, that's when we talk about
come on, this is
we
the
don't
video.
talk in front of our entire world
Yes,
here.
we do. This is the video about marriage. So, Joe, why won't you marry me? So far.
So far, yes, why won't I? Well, I would say that I'm really just not ready. I have a wonderful life. Why do I want to mess it up?
That wasn't a very good reason.
It's an excellent reason.
I want specifics.
I've had a bad experience in the past, bad experiences in the past, and I don't want that to happen between Angela and me because she is amazing, amazing. But I'm not saying, down the road, however long this road is, something won't happen, but it's a long road. Give me a chance. Don't hold that gun to my head.
But he has to also realize that the road won't be as long as he's hoping if eventually there isn't some commitment. Am I right, ladies?
DumpJoe.com.
Am I right, ladies?
Ladies, guys, come on, you're feeling me, right? I mean, come
You're
on.
right. He's got a great deal. He doesn't have to give up anything. He can just string me along
No,
until
I'm
he
giving up
decides-
I'm giving up my independence. Instead of going out and not coming back, I come back.
What are you, Dad, getting cigarettes? All these men that have that problem with the past experience have to realize that it's not putting a ring on the person, it's not marrying them that failed the relationship. It was that you weren't compatible in the first place. You wouldn't have been able to make it in the first place. It has nothing to do with I got married and that's why it fell apart. Yes, marriage can put different pressures on a relationship, but if you didn't marry that person in the past, I don't think you'd still be with that person. You would have broken up because it just wasn't gonna work.
Well, I mean, there are reasons why Angela and I
Oh,
are not married now. I mean, and that's obvious. All you have to do is take a look in her closet.
So, marriage isn't a big deal in this time and age anyway. If you like this video, leave a like, a comment, or subscribe.
Definitely subscribe,
So you
please.
don't miss any new videos,
Yeah, you
which
don't
we're
wanna-
already gonna start pumping out like crazy.
Yes, they're coming your way. That's right. Faster than someone can pop the question. There you
Make sure to check out our Patreon because we're putting up exclusive content.
go. Ooh.
And we're having Google Hangouts where you can video chat with us.
Yes.
It's really cool. Be our best friend at our Patreon.
That's right. I propose that we do that soon. So beautiful.
Aww.
I should really.
Do it! Oh! Joe! Joe!